All right, this is Pete with Crunch Time Coaching. Today we're going to do a fun experiment. I have no idea how it's going to go. I have my man Aubrey here. He's a good 4-0 player. He's a strapping young man, 25 years old, in a phenomenal shape. I think a lot of us out there are a little jealous right now of Aubrey. He's in the prime of his life. Anyway, Aubrey, what we're going to do is we're going to be playing on the ball machine today. It's my theory that most people don't know how to properly use the ball machine. So I'm hoping you have no clue what you're doing, otherwise this video is a big waste of time.
I hope I won't.
But he's a 4-0 player, so he's a good player. But before we get into seeing what Aubrey's going to do, we got it. Can I just have this for a second? This is a head XRC. How does a 25-year-old guy with a big, I've seen him hit some balls, he's got a big game, you know, spin, all the modern strokes looking. How did you end up with this?
Funny story. So I used to play with the Roddick and
The Babolat.
The Babolat, yeah, the Pure Roddick. And I actually ran by Goodwill with my girlfriend one day, looked at the sports section, found this bad boy, and I was like, well, I've got to pick it up because it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so then I went out to the court and hit with it, and I was like, wow, this actually hits really good. Like the weight was perfect, and so I've been hitting with it since.
See, that's an old school classic. It's making a comeback with the young guns. So, all right, so what we're going to do, very simply, is have you used the ball machine much?
Yeah, good bit.
Okay, use it a good bit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go over the ball machine. We'll just go through a little bit of how to set it up so people can kind of see out there. And I'm just going to let you go wild on it and see what you start off with and what you're doing for your practice.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, cool. Okay, so Aubrey, if I'm getting this correct, you put the elevation to about between 2 and 3. We'll see how that comes out. We might have to tamper with that.
Yeah.
You got your ball speed at 6, the ball feed at 7, and you're putting the oscillator on, so it's going to be spraying around, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds perfect.
So that's perfect. That's how we're starting today. All right, good luck, young man.
Thanks.
Like this? Yeah, that's a lot better. All right, so Aubrey, you're huffing and puffing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Sweating pretty good.
That was a good workout.
Now, first of all, what I did like about Aubrey's hitting is he moved his feet right away. We can see he's got a nice game, good strokes. Your strokes look good, man. I like it. Especially hitting with this thing. I don't know how you're doing that, but anyway. But the thing that I am a little critical of, which is kind of like most people on the ball machine, is to me, most people use the ball machine where it's like great for a workout. You're a young guy, I think you're huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
Towards the middle, looked like you almost got tired. You started spraying some balls and things. Were you tired?
A little bit, yeah.
So he's a little bit winded first round, and that got him a little inconsistent. And to me, you're just having a nice feel-good whack on the ball machine. That's what most people do. They go out there where they have pretty strokes like yourself, or maybe the strokes aren't as nice as Aubrey. Either way, everybody does the same thing. You come out. Aubrey wanted to put that thing. We actually did one round. He's like, turn it up. Remember, this is the warm-up round. He's like, turn it up. I want the thing moving faster, and I want to move more. And he's hitting great shots. I didn't really see a pattern to it. Would you say that's fair?
Somewhat, yeah.
and so he's just having a good feel-good hit. To me, you want three things when you're going to work on the ball machine. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Technical, he looks pretty good. Tactical, I didn't really see you working on any kind of tactical kind of thing. And measurable. You want to be able to know when you leave, are you actually getting better? Are you accomplishing something? I think the more you do that with your practices, you're going to find that when you go to play matches, what you're doing out on the practice court is going to translate into more wins and playing better under pressure. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start with the way I would like to warm up. Are you ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Aubrey, so what we're going to do, actually kind of taking some ideas out of watching a lot of pros practice, and also listening to something very important that Nick Saviano said. You know who he is? Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Well, I think he's back with Eugene Bouchard.
Okay.
He's coached over 50 ATP and WTA pro players. He's a pretty famous coach. And he said something, I got to see him speak in public once, and he said, most players come out, now you moved your feet 100% and hit 100%, I think. But most people come out, they're 50% with their feet, 100% power. We want to reverse that. We want to be 100% with our feet, 50% power. So that's what we're going to do. I also like to start in the short court. This is going to help you feel your spin more. Yeah. We're going to be hitting just straight, alternating forehand and backhand, trying to get a nice little spin, and we put a target out there. Now, I like to use kind of like a soccer goal type target, or I think it's like a baseball pitch thing. It doesn't matter. You guys can use a tennis bag, whatever, but we're actually trying to hit over it and still get the ball to go in. And this will just kind of get you more in the flow, ready to play, ready to get consistent. It might actually backfire in the beginning. You may not do as great at this as you are just, putting the ball machine out there and just kind of going for it. So this is actually a skill you want to develop, and we're going to turn the ball machine on. Are you ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
All right, cool.
So the drill I like to start off with the ball machine, whenever I'm going on the ball machine, is to start short and going 100% with my feet, 50% power, and trying to aim it over a target there in the middle of the court. And we can see that Aubrey is struggling in the beginning. He's moving his feet pretty nice, but he's picking up too early on a lot of his shots because he's trying to figure out that exact right rhythm and pace he should be swinging with, and struggling to find the right amount of spin. So therefore he's hitting lots of miss hits and just not getting really solid contact on the ball. And so it's a completely different way of practicing, rather than just coming out and just kind of banging the ball wherever, which, when you go to play a match, you got to have more of a thought process to what you're doing. And this kind of gets you in the mindset of that. And this gets you also, when you can start to do this, you're going to start to master the feel of topspin, of how to ramp up the pacing of your strokes. So it's doing a lot of things here to get you in a really good groove for match play. So we'll be back to see what Aubrey thought of this drill.
All right, so Aubrey, that looked like that was a little tougher for you than your kind of banging warm-up, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. What did you struggle with there?
I think gauging where the ball is going to bounce and getting the right distance from that. I think to hit it right. Yeah.
So even though it looked like it'd be an easy exercise, starting the short court actually kind of helps your timing, will shorten up your swing cycle there, and once you get the feeling of it, you'll really start to feel the great feeling of spin and being able to start a little slower and getting things going. You still want to be accelerating. To me, it looked like you're just picking up a little too much, but this is a skill you want to work on. I really like this type of warm-up. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the baseline. Still same thing. I still want you 100% with the feet, 50% power, looking to find that rhythm. All right, here we go.
So next round, what we did very simply is we just backed Aubrey up, and we had him, again, same thing, 100% with the feet, 50% power, from the baseline, and we can see that he's already starting to get in more of a rhythm. Still picked up a little too soon on a lot of backhands, but started to get a better rhythm, started to build up the consistency, started to find his targets, and so now we're starting to get into being able to have a more productive practice out there. But you can see that he still struggled to, consistently be right on the target. So he kind of got hot and cold. But overall, I felt like the feeling started to come with his shots. And again, we're gonna get Aubrey's thoughts on what we were doing here.
All right, Aubrey. So I think you did a lot better that round.
Yeah, it felt better.
And you started to feel more comfortable with your forehand, I noticed. Still getting the spin, but going through it a little more. Backhand, still picking up a little, pulling up a little too much. But we're actually working on, in my mind, what is one of the deadliest weapons in the game that everybody underestimates. Do you know what it is?
What's that?
Height, right? I think when you go out and practice, one of your main goals is to establish height.
Okay.
Because if you establish the height, we're doing a couple of very valuable things as a tennis player. We're, first of all, we're not making mistakes in the net.
Yeah, that's big.
And we're keeping the ball deep. So we're developing a devastating rally ball. You know, I really think that even up to the 5-0 level, and you're 4-0, but you have like 5-0 strokes, as long as you can hit the ball deep, no one's going to beat you. I really don't think you need to hit the ball hard at our recreational level. You know, even Djokovic, who can crush a ball, why is he so good? I think he's got the best rally ball I've ever seen. So that's what we're working on. Now we're going to transition into probably the where you want to just master your rally ball, which is a cross-court rally ball.
Okay.
And now we're going to really start to measure. So we're going to be going cross-court, and you've got to make, now again, this is a little harder, guys, the way we have it set up, because I've got like this goal set up, but you can put your bag and try and hit over the bag. We don't want to hit the target, we want to hit over the target. So every time you can hit over that target, you score a point. Okay. We're going to put it at a goal of 8 out of 10 is your goal to get to. It may happen today, it may not, but it's something to work towards.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, Aubrey, so I measured that for you. Your first round, well, we didn't count the first round, though you were hitting pretty good on the first round, but then we went, I believe, 4 for 10, then 7 out of 10. That was pretty good. You kind of got in a rhythm. Then I think at the end, maybe you're getting a little tired. It was 3 for 10 or 3 for 9, somewhere around there. But have you ever measured yourself? Like, have you ever done this on the ball machine before?
Not over a target like that, no.
And that's the thing. You saw him come out. He's a good player. He was hitting some great shots. But we noticed now that we've got the target, we're really working on our depth. Notice the shots you were able to get deep. Who's going to attack that ball?
Yeah, they're not going to be on offense.
They're not going to be on offense. So it's so important to really master this shot, I think. That way, a guy who's got a big stroke like him can get a weak reply. And you notice that when he went and did this, his stroke is you're looking a little different. You know, maybe the stroke might look a little more when he's getting into a match. He's really got to focus on making a shot a little bit more tentative. You keep doing this. Would you say that if you could go out there and practice this and your confidence builds, and you know every time you do this you can make 8 out of 10 stone cold and you feel like you're still hitting your normal shot, do you think your confidence would go up in a match?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think it's so important to measure, guys, because then you know what you can do. You can use this as kind of like psychological power when you're playing a match, and you go, I know when I go out and practice, I make 8 out of 10 of these things in my sleep. So that's going to help you in big pressure situations, especially if you use it like that.
For sure.
All right, next thing we're going to do, it's called the picture perfect shot. We're going to be going down the line. We are actually not going over the target. Now we're going out at the target.
Okay.
So we're going to drive a little more.
All right.
And we've got to hold our finish for 3 seconds.
Okay.
So it's going to look like this. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to look like this. I'm going to get here, and I'm going to step in, And when I step in, I've got to hold here for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I know you have a nice open stance forehand. I still want you to be able to step in.
Okay.
And this is also, you can also practice this 2 guys with open stance. You just kind of, again, go open, and you still 1, 2, 3. Just making sure that you know your balance, you know your body weight transfer, all that stuff. So picture perfect. You're going to be holding that for 3 seconds, so we'll slow out the feeds a little more.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Sounds fun.
Yep. 4. There you go. Way to hold that. 5. 3 for 6. Nice finish. There you go. So Aubrey, you said you actually liked that one. What did you like about it?
I think I was able to hit a little more through the ball on that one. I enjoyed that, and it helped me get my placement closer to the line.
Okay.
Aiming for the target for sure.
What did it feel like to freeze after every shot?
It felt like I could really see kind of where my finish was, which you usually don't see because you're trying to get back in position, you know, for the next shot. So that felt nice. Yeah.
Picture perfect. Whenever some of my students are off, whether weaker students or some of my stronger students, I usually will go back to the picture perfect finish, and then by the end of the drill, everybody looks great. They look balanced. They can really feel their weight transfer, and the stroke looks so pretty when you do the picture perfect finish. And then the other thing is, I noticed that you did open stance picture perfect finish and step in, which is fine. I like that he did both, but I do suggest as you go, hopefully he's going to go home and work on some of these drills. You want to be good where you can do one stone cold and then another stone cold. So I'd make one bucket of balls all step ins, another bucket all open stance. Okay. And I also would make sure you keep measuring, because I notice when you when we're not counting, you kind of like, he gets into a roll, and then usually as soon as I start counting, you go off a little bit. It takes you a little bit while to get used to me counting, and then he kind of gets back in his rhythm. So it's so important, guys, to measure out there. All right, next thing we're gonna do, I think you're gonna love this. We're gonna be working on our inside out forehand. I have a feeling Aubrey's gonna love this one. All right, here we go. Okay, so Aubrey, we're actually taking the ball machine now. I don't really ever see anybody do this. We're gonna put on our side of the court. Have you ever done that?
I haven't, no.
Okay, and this is gonna give you a better feed, be able to control the ball exactly where you want it to go.
Okay.
And I just find that for the inside out forehand, I really like it on the same side of the court, so we can get a really good angle and more of a predictable bounce and everything and rhythm. So you're also going to be trying to hit, you see how I have the target there? You're trying to hit on the inside of the target. You're not trying to hit the target, you're trying to get it to go through there. I may even narrow that a little bit for you. And again, you're trying to make 8 out of 10. And what I want you to do is when you move on out, you're going to be here, you're going to move on out, hit that forehand. I want you to move. I'll set up like a little cone for you to get back to. So so you're really working on your footwork.
Okay, perfect.
All right, young man, you're breathing heavy.
That was a workout. Bottom of my shoes are burning, so.
You did good. Your first set, you got 7 out of 10, but you already hit probably a good 15 balls, and then second set, you were pooped.
Yeah, that's pretty tired.
But we're going to keep it going. We got the train here, but hopefully you guys can hear us. You did great today. Is that good for one workout
Yeah,
today?
that felt great, yeah. Felt like I really hit on some stuff that can really help me.
And what do you think about the whole idea of measuring what you're doing?
I mean, it definitely helps, because if you're not measuring it, you're not really sure how much you're improving. So. Yeah, I like that.
So that's the thing, guys. As he does all this, he's going to be able to go and go, oh my gosh, I'm getting better at this stuff. And the cool thing is, we just did a couple exercises today, but for my peeps out there, we got 30 days scheduled out for you guys to where you're going to have a systemized, measurable practice that's going to be going over your technique, your tactics, and measuring it all on the ball machine, without the ball machine, on the wall. It's called Solo Shots, and this video is absolutely free. We're just going to keep it up for a limited time only, so make sure you watch it from start to finish. And we're also going to be giving you guys a lot more free content, because this course is jam-packed with content.
That's gold.
So I feel like I can give a lot of content, a lot of value to you guys for free. So those of you that don't join us inside the course, which you should, but if you don't, you're still going to get a lot of value just for being on my list. But a lot more cool stuff on the way, guys, because I think this Solo Shot course is really going to help your tennis game get to another level. Thanks for coming out today,
Thanks,
man.
I really appreciate it. That really helped.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go get a shower and take a nap.
I'm going to need one.